This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Lane Johnson. He calls out the NFL, he calls out the league. Also, we got to talk about Nolan Smith. He will be the new energy guy. And lastly, Nick Sirianni about to get that bag. But let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we hop straight into it, want to get into some quick hits, some topics, I seen but couldn't put in the title. But let's talk about the draft a little bit. I know we've been getting derailed with the Tush push thing, the Dallas Goddard thing. But a new guy came in for a visit, defensive tackle Shemar Turner, about 6'3", 290. Basically a run stopper, a guy you can get, like third, maybe late second. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Shamar Turner because I think if you're getting a guy that high second round, he should be able to pass rush slash run stop. But with that high motor he has, it kind of reminds me of Milton Williams as far as with the motor, but he doesn't get the sacks like Milton Williams. He was a guy that played edge slash defensive tackle, very versatile in that way. But again, him not having the pass rush moves do scare me a little bit. But at the same time, he's definitely a guy that can develop easily under Vic Fangio. But I look at the second round, you can do so much with it, especially with all them fifths, like three of them. Maybe we could use one of those and trade up and get somebody else who is more ready. I don't really want a developmental piece in the second round. We need a guy that can, come in and play immediately. We need one of those guys. So I won't be mad at it, but it's not my favorite visit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not my favorite visit. Right? Another topic of conversation. Some NFL rule changes have passed. So the Eagles wanted that, the two possession thing. We get the ball, or team A, I will use that. Team B gets the ball and get an opportunity to score. So, say for example, you kick it off to team A. If team A score a touchdown, you know how the game is usually over, but team B gets a chance to score a touchdown as well. Instead of the normal time clock of 15 minutes, it's reduced to 10 because the game can go a little longer. So, I like the rule, especially it's not just for the playoffs or the Super Bowl, but these regular season games can come down to playoff implications, seeding. So sometimes they could be just as important. So I like that rule change. Also, the kickoff return. I hate this rule change. So now touchbacks will be at the 35. I was watching my guy Philly Mike, and he was saying like how the kickoffs used to be, and I remember this as well. I'm not that young, that when it was a touchback, you start the ball at the 20. Then they moved it up to the 25. Then they moved it up to the 30. Now they moved it up to the 35. So basically, once you get a first down, you're at midfield. So it's going to be a lot easier for teams to score. I know this is supposed to be a way to incentivize to guys to run during the kickoffs or whatever, or less touchbacks. They don't want the kicker just kicking it, to the other side of the end zone. Because if you do that, you got the opposing team starting at the 35. And it's like at this point, just get rid of the kickoff or go by the old format. Let the kicker go a little further back so it could be less, touchbacks, and then just start at the 20. Let a team work the field. Imagine playing us. I ain't gonna say the Chiefs. Imagine playing us and we starting at the 35 every single play. Every single down. We starting at the 35. And I'm an Eagles fan, and I think that's unfair for the opposing team. Letting us start at the 35 every single time? That's insane. Another rule change, the expansion of replay assistant. I like this. This is not really to put down flags on certain plays that could have been flagged. It's more of like picking up flags like, okay, that wasn't really a flag, so we're going to pick this up. That was, I guess, the right call, whatever. So they'll just be using more replay assistance, which I really like. I like that it can limit some errors in the game. I would say that. So I like that idea. Another quick hit, man. Dallas Goddard. More conversation about Dallas Goddard. Nick Sirianni spoke about it, and this is what he had to say.
You want Dallas Goedert back?
I'm sorry.
You want Dallas Goedert back?
Right now, he's on our football team, and obviously Dallas Goedert has meant a lot to us. And we'll see how that plays out. He's a heck of a football player, heck of a leader, and I want to be able to have back as many guys as you possibly can. But that is not the reality of the NFL. We got a lot of so we'll see what happens and how that happens, but. Of course, you want everyone back.
Is the plan to keep Cooper?
We won a Super Bowl last year, and and everybody, like I said, everybody was responsible for that. And so, anytime you have, going back to even Chauncey, anytime you have to, somebody moves on, and whether it's Sweaty, whether it's Milton, or whoever it is, obviously you did special things together, and you'll miss them along the way. So, but you want to try to hold on to as many guys as you can if it's the right, because you guys, we did something special together. But there's more to it than.
Again, like I said in my last video, it sounded like Dallas Goddard will be gone. It seemed like Nick Sirianni is talking about more him in past tense. He's on the team now, technically, but I think eventually he'll be off the team. I seen Derek Gunn tweet something out like, look, if they could work out the financials, Dallas Goddard could be on the team, but as of right now, the financial things are, just not playing hand in hand, which it sounds like the Hassan Reddick thing. Now, we don't have a number that Dallas Goddard want, but I remember it was like we wanted to keep Hassan Reddick, but he wanted what, 25 million a year. He's like, we just can't do that. That's too expensive for us. Whereas I don't really hear a number from Dallas Goddard. I think the Eagles are just trying to get ahead of this thing. Like, yo, he's injury prone, and it's time for his replacement to come in. I keep seeing multiple scouts watching Harold Fannin Jr., watching these tight ends in the draft. So again, it just might be that time. The only thing I did not like about, Dallas Goddard possibly leaving, it was a very high chance, is that we didn't get that transitional tight end early. Whereas though they could have learned under Dallas Goddard. Now you're going to have a rookie basically taking over. So we'll see, man. We'll see how the Dallas Goddard thing go. But let's get into some main topics. Everybody knew the Tush push was going to be a big thing. Will it be banned? And they was 8 votes short. He was 8 votes short. So technically, as of today, the Tush push is not banned. What I did not like is that they tabled it. What do that mean? That mean instead of having another year of the Tush push or just letting it go, they moved it to like May. So right now, the people that want it removed or whatever, they get a chance to convince the 8 other owners to get that 24. Like, hey, we're going to have another meeting. Let's get this out of here because this, that, and the third. So I guess they're going to try to convince those other teams to get rid of it. But the league wanted out. I know a lot of Eagles fans like, yeah, they tabled it. This is a win. I don't think this is a win. This is actually somewhat of a loss. I think the league just really wanted out. I would say that. They want it out. They don't like the optics of it. I mean, it's petty. It's crazy. If I was an actual Eagles player, I'm like, yo, we came up with something so masterful that they need to ban it to stop us. To ban it. 16 votes to me is still a lot of votes to get rid of a play. But think about it. 16 votes to get it out of here. But I think it's going to be done. And I don't like the Packers proposal because Eagles going to find a work around that. So the Packers proposal is really, you can't line up an initial push. Like you can still push, but you could come from different angles or whatever. Like it's easy to manipulate. Not how the Eagles, they have maybe a tight end and a running back lined up directly behind Jalen Hurts and then push him so that's the play start. They just can't line up like that, and that's what the Packers propose. But they could run up and still push him. So I mean, it's crazy. But Lane Johnson spoke about it like hate us because they ain't us. I mean, I'm with Lane Johnson, man. So he spoke out. I had to let it be known like they hate us. They don't like us. And I like how Lane Johnson is talking for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Right. Let's get into the next topic. Let's talk about Nolan Smith. Will Nolan Smith be the new energy guy? Well, Nick Sirianni believes so. Let me play this clip.
Yeah, obviously Chauncey's contributions to this football team were awesome. Right, he brings a lot of energy, makes a lot of plays. I love him. I love him. Wish him the best. I've had a good experience with him for 2 years, even though there was time off in between there. And so I think that a lot is said on his energy, and of course he's got great energy every day. He loves football. Um, he loves to play the game on Sunday. He brings great energy. I think with that is we have a lot of defensive guys that play with an edge, that play with great energy. I think Jalen Carter comes to mind. Nolan Smith. I think you guys have heard me talk about him, about how much energy and effort that he plays with. Coop, was young obviously last year, but he plays with a great deal of passion and energy and edge. Quinyon plays with a great deal of edge. Nakobe Dean, I think you can always see him talking to the guys. I just watched that little mini movie that our team put out, and he's always talking to the guys and firing them up, and plays with an edge and plays with nastiness. And so we have a lot of guys on that defensive side that will be able to continue to bring what Chauncey brought. But wish Chauncey the best, and I love him, and we'll obviously miss him. But we'll bring some opportunity for some other guys as well.
How do you plan on?
I know he mentioned Jalen Carter, he mentioned Cooper DeJean, but I think Nolan Smith is the more reasonable guy to be the energy guy to replace CJ Gardner Johnson. But I always looked at Nolan Smith as the energy guy to replace Brandon Graham. I still don't see the energy guy to replace, CJ Gardner Johnson. Cooper DeJean is more laid back. I don't see him being the CJ Gardner Johnson. Jalen Carter does talk his talk, but Jalen Carter's not in the secondary, so yeah, I don't want to keep harping on the CJ Gardner Johnson thing. I wanted to focus more on the energy guy, and that's Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, he is our new energy guy. He's going to bring it. He's going to talk his talk, even though he's at the edge again, still not in the secondary. I think he's got to be the guy to juice up the guys. You're a Super Bowl champ. We seen your story. People's calling you a bust, including me. But you came up, you got better as the season went. Again, you played your ass off in the Super Bowl, your ass off in the playoff run. We need these guys that's rookies or were rookies and drafted here. They have to be the leader of this team. They have to bring that energy because it matters. We had talent in 2023. If you go look at that team, like Swift was talented. You still had AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Hell, we even picked up Kevin Byard, who played honestly really well in Chicago, but there was no energy. It seemed like we were just It was too lackadaisical. We just went with the flow. But even that team was able to get 11 wins. Sure, I think our team is going to be great, but you need that energy, that synergy as well, just in the locker room, on the field to get it going. And every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, wherever we played, CJ Gardner Johnson gave you that in 2022 and 2024. But Nolan Smith, going into year 3, he can be that guy. He can be that energy guy. And I'm telling you, you can't put a stat to it, a number to it. It just matter. Even like with the Brandon Graham, just him being on the field. Yeah, he played about 15 snaps in the Super Bowl, maybe even less than that. but his energy was needed on that sideline. Again, you can't put a number to it, but it's impactful. It's definitely impactful. Again, ask me in 2023, what was the main problem is coaching, no energy. Coaching and no energy in 2023, that was the problem. So we're going to need that from our guys. Last but certainly not least, Sirianni about to get that bread. So they asked Jeffrey Lurie about it. He basically said, like, look, man, soon enough, very soon, you're gonna find out how much we want to keep Sirianni around. So Sirianni about to get that bag. He's about to get extended. I mean, what can I say? We haven't missed the playoffs since Sirianni been a Philadelphia Eagles head coach. He went to a Super Bowl and lost. He won the Super Bowl. He been through the controversy. He know how to handle the fans. Even though he's not a play caller, this, that, and the third. But as I mentioned in the last segment, energy, understanding the fans, understanding the team can't be replaced. And that's what Sirianni brings. And Jeffrey Lurie, you know what he do. When he loves you and you're winning, you're going to get that bag. Coach, players, just staff members in general. He wanted to win. He made Kellen Moore, I believe one of the highest paid coordinators. Vic Fangio, one of the highest paid coordinators. When you're producing, he's going to pay you for sure. So Nick Sirianni definitely deserves it, especially everything he been through. Everything he been through. 2023, I thought you got to get him out of here. You had to, because I thought like he just didn't bring anything of value. But then you seen him go through that same ringer. We won 2-2. I'm like, Sirianni, do not lose the locker room again. And next thing you know, we went on that win streak and we won the Super Bowl. So that's what Nick Sirianni brings to this team, man. And I guess I want to get a head start on this. Congratulations on your extension, Nick Sirianni. You will be an Eagles head coach for quite a while. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news? Lane Johnson calling out the NFL. Also, Nick Sirianni extension. We touched on the Dallas Goedert thing. Nolan Smith being a new energy guy. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.